This is going to be a fun wrap up because I did mostly vlogs last month. So I have like 2 books to talk about.
Oh, that's great because I only have 2 books to talk
about. Wow. Hey guys.
Howdy.
What's up and welcome back or to the Roomies Digest. My name's Christine.
I'm Monique.
And today we're doing our July wrap up.
I can't believe it.
I was like, is it?
Yeah.
It's August. Wow. Yeah, our July wrap up. Cool.
Yeah.
So let's get started. Bum, bum, da 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 da, bum, bum, da.
So first up, we both participated in the tarot
readathon.
Yeah, I was about to say tarot card readathon, but I was like, I think it's just a tarot readathon.
Tarot readathon.
And neither of our teams won, so I'm happy to report that the results.
Anyway, yeah, so I feel like a couple of days before the readathon ended, Swords were like doing really, really well, but we dropped the ball in the end. I don't know what happened. You know, maybe it's because I didn't finish 3 of the books that I said I was going to finish.
I think that's what happened.
I'm going to go ahead and clear the air. I started Ace, Iron Gold, and Foundry Side, and those are all like crazy thick, as in you have to actually think about what's happening in the book.
Yeah.
So I'm taking my time in finishing those this month.
I love that for you, because that's my philosophy.
Yeah, I hated it. Like I said, I'm back to my regularly scheduled list, and I'm on track for this month, so.
All right, so the first book I read in July was actually Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, and it was really good. I think I just liked it. Like, I wasn't completely blown away with it, because it kind of felt like the plot, I thought the plot was going to be a little different, but it was really just about him trying to go back to where he was from. And like, once you figure that out, it's not much, no other revelations are like revealed. I gave it a 4-star.
But you're going to keep it as a 4?
Yes. Oh, yeah, because I was like, I said this book reminds me if Midnight Library and Happy Death Day had a baby.
Ooh.
So that's the vibe. Like, you have...
Happy Death Day is so good.
Yeah.
But, like, I can see what you mean by Midnight Library.
Yeah, like there was fun there. There was a lot of action, but it kind of dragged a little bit.
Okay.
Anyway.
Cool.
So I gave it 4 stars.
All right. I'll start with also a meh-ish book. Okay, so last month I read Anxious People by Fredrik Backman. I ended up giving it a 4 stars, but this was also a book where I was like, meh. Like, it's written well, it's good, but like, is it necessarily my favorite book ever in the world? No, not really. This book basically follows a bunch of POVs of this group of people who are going through kind of like a kidnapping situation, and it kind of follows the like loosely based anxiety of each of the characters and kind of goes through their backstories. So I liked it. Like, I thought that the connections were really like great, and I can see why people are obsessed and they really love this book. But, you know, for me, I don't know, there's just something about it that I was just kind of like, it is good, you know, but will I read it again? Probably not.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if it was because it was laid out so well that I was like, oh, this obviously is going to be this, and this is going to be this.
You didn't have to think.
Right. And so it wasn't like for a mystery with like connections and stuff like that, because it's not like obviously a mystery, it's more contemporary. But like for that aspect, I was like, ugh. But it was, you know, well thought out. So I gave it a 4 because I can see how other people would like it. But for me personally, I need a little more zhuzh. So, Fredrik Backman, 4-star. Meh.
Then I read The Loop by Jeremy Robert Johnson. In the beginning, I was like, this is gonna be a 5-star because the way it jumped right into the action. It kind of gives you like a mixed, not really mixed media, but it's like some of the setting or like the setup of the environment is told through a podcast, and then you get the firsthand account from the students that are trying to, you know, run for their lives. So I was like, this is gonna be great. There was some romance I was feeling, and then the book kept going, and it's very violent, y'all. I have never read a book so graphic, and I read a Stephen King book once. So this was pretty graphic, but I mean, I think once you understand that it's literally like about, I would say like a zombie like
Apocalypse?
I would say apocalypse, but I don't want to say too much. But apocalypse, you know, you got to get
The
that
vibe.
detail to describe how everything's going. But
Hmm.
I thought it was okay. Like, if you just want something quick to read about zombies, government conspiracies, this is the book.
Would you rate it?
I think I gave it 3 stars.
All right, well, you know, this video's been pretty mess, so I'm gonna bring it up a level. My favorite book of last month was The Bride Test, and I recently read The Kiss Quotient for the first time. This is obviously the second book in that kind of like series. So where The Kiss Quotient follows Michael, this is his cousin, Kai. Kai has autism, and he has never really had a girlfriend before, but he's like pretty successful. And so his mom, being really worried about him because he's like 26, I think, at this point, she goes to Vietnam to find him a wife, i.e. the bride test. And so she, you know, brings over this lovely young lady, and she's like, look, live with my son for a summer. I know this is weird, but if you live with him and you guys get to know each other, you don't have to do anything else if you don't want to. And then you guys get married, you can stay in the US. Our girl here, Esme, she has her own motivations for this, because she never really thought that she would ever be in America.
Okay.
But she has like other things like with her family that she's like, okay, this might be a good idea. Yeah. And also I get $20,000. Perfect. So she gets brought over to the US by Kai's mom, basically shows up on his doorstep, and Kai is like, no.
Yeah.
Mom, no. So that is kind of the premise of this book. I had such a fun time with this, okay? I have the book because I support Miss Helen and everything that she does, but I read it on audio and it was just so much fun, y'all. Like, when I say this might be like one of my favorite romances of the year. Like, my favorite romance book.
Immediately.
And, you know, I am not sure if that's because like I identify with Kai or, you know what, but it was so freaking cute, and I just love him because he's so misunderstood as a character. Yeah. And he finds love anyway. It's gonna make me cry. Okay, so anyway, things were done, things were said, and you know, it is that kind of like arranged marriage trope, I guess, loosely based, but you know, you'll figure out what happens in the end. I don't want to give it all away. So I gave this a whopping 5 stars, obviously. Yeah, this was like, seriously.
You said 4, I'm like, did you say that wrong?
Like, I love the Kiss Quotient, but she was like different than Kai. And, you know, I'm going to talk about The Heart Principle in a minute because I also read that book, which is the 3rd book in the series because I am obsessed with all of these books. But
They're just in different levels in life.
Yeah,
you identify more with his level.
Right, because he's young. He's like a little bit younger. Like, Stella's an older character. Also, like, kind of how Kai behaves is more like along something that like I can relate to. Whereas Stella, you know, she's just a genius, and I'm just like not on her level of intelligence like whatsoever. So anyway, let me segue into The Heart Principle while we're talking about it. So first of all, this book hasn't even come out yet because it comes out August 31st, but Book of the Month sent us this copy, and also, you know, I got the ARC from NetGalley because I'm obsessed with all of these books. So I technically have done like the NetGalley review for this in the NetGalley vlog, which I'm gonna link up in the cards. But I do want to talk about this very quickly. So The Heart Principle, I gave a 4.5 stars. This one follows Anna Sun, who is a very talented violinist, and she goes viral one day, and because of this kind of viral fame, she has a lot of pressure on her to perform at the same kind of like level. She also is dealing with her own kind of like self-discovery, and this book, I was a little worried about it because when the publisher sent us the ARC, they were like, this is a very special book. Like, this is very special to Miss Helen. It's different than the first 2 because those 2 are like romance, where this is more of kind of like about Anna and then side romance. But this one is also really, really good as well. And I don't want to obviously say too much about it because I want you guys to experience it for yourselves. But I will say that there is another character who has autism, and I love this whole entire series because every single character that has autism in a different way, and it shows the scale of autism in such a great way, so you can clearly see how it's not all the same, how it's all perceived as being the same, but for the individual character, because we get into the POV of all of them, how it's different for them. And I just think that this series is so good.
I need to go to the Bride Test.
Side note, I know I'm ranting a little, but you know, in Eve Brown, there is another autistic character, and he is autistic, but I feel like this was like you could clearly get into the mind, you know?
Well, it's more about her than about the romance.
Right.
It's about Eve Brown.
Well, these books, I guess is what I should say, like this whole series. So yeah, anyway, it is still a romance, obviously. So it's really cute. I really liked it and I cried in the end. Like a baby. But yeah, highly recommend. I don't know if that was a good ending wrap up, but
She really loves these books when I say.
I really do. I have the paperback of The Heart Principle on pre-order, so it will be here the day it comes out.
So we'll all match.
But I squealed when Book of the Month sent us this. I was like, you didn't have to do this to my heart. But I am gonna let Monique have this copy. So
That's a friend.
it is. Well, and I want all my books to look the same.
Match.
So there you go. Anyway, so yeah, that's The Heart Principle.
Beautiful. I finished, y'all. I actually finished Authority by Jeff Vandermeer. It's the second book in the Southern Reach trilogy. It follows directly the events of the end of the book of book one, which is Annihilation. So it picks up from a completely different point of view, and it more highlights the people that sent the explorers in to Area X. If you guys know what Annihilation is about, don't want to go too far into details, but that is pretty much the book about this. And when I picked it back up the second time, I think I liked it 45,000 times more.
Yeah, because you were kind of struggling with that book.
I think because Annihilation was just so perfect in every way for me. First of all, Annihilation is half this size, like 100 pages less, so it's like perfect. Nothing was extra, nothing extra. When I picked this up, I was like, it's 100 pages longer than the other book. I was a little apprehensive, and then it was from a different POV, and I was like,
right.
But after reading it, I do think it could still, benefit from maybe a few less chapters. But overall, I'll give it a 4-star.
So if you're reading those books, maybe don't go one into the other straight off.
You can just know that it is. I think the excitement that I had for Annihilation did not run over to this one when I picked it up. But I think it was also because Annihilation was just so short. I can't explain it. But it's like, I think this could have been a little shorter.
What'd you rate it?
4 stars.
4 stars. Cool. Okay, guys, so we're into the portion where, I did some vlogs last month. I've been trying to vlog a little bit more so I don't take up as much time in our wrap-ups, because I read a lot of books. So I will go ahead and just run through some of the vlog books. The first one that I want to mention is the Book of the Month vlog that I did last month. I ended up reading Imposter Syndrome by Kathy Wang, The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave, and Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. If you guys want my thoughts and ratings on all of these books, first of all, I did really in-depth ratings on Goodreads, so that's plugged down below if you're really interested in that. Go ahead and click that link. You guys can see all of our book ratings, and also I'm gonna plug the vlog up here so you guys can see all of the thoughts, reactions, and ratings for that. I will give you guys a sneak peek and say obviously my favorite from this vlog was Malibu Rising. And I do want to just stop and say this book in particular, I think people kind of undersell it a little bit. This is my first Taylor Jenkins Reid, so I'm really excited because everyone has said that out of the 3 books, this one, Evelyn Hugo, and Daisy Jones and the Six, this one is like the number 3 spot, but still really good. But I think, when people say that it's about brothers and sisters who are having a party in Malibu, this book is so much more than that. And I just loved it because it had huge Hollywood, like old Hollywood vibes, like 80s surfer vibes, because it goes back and forth between these 2 time frames, and it was just so much fun. So that was my favorite, but if you want the full rating and thoughts and everything, go ahead and look at that vlog. The next vlog that I did was my NetGalley vlog, where I'm trying to read these books and get the ratings and kind of the thoughts out before they come out the next month. So all the books that are coming out this month that I read for NetGalley were obviously number 1, The Heart Principle, which I already kind of touched on. 2 was the So We Meet Again, which basically follows this young woman who gets fired from her job on Wall Street and has to go back home to Tennessee, where she basically stays with her parents and has to figure out her life and like what she's gonna do. It's by Suzanne Park, who has like another book that's really well known that I'm not thinking of right now, but I like that one. That one was pretty good. The next one is called Reclaimed, which is a sci-fi by Madeline Roux, R-O-U-X. I'm not really sure.
I would say Rue.
Okay. But anyway, so that sci-fi follows a young woman who has gone through a horrible tragedy, and she gets recruited for this kind of like memory replacement therapy, which will get rid of the bad memories and, you know, let her have a more normal life. But as she's getting her memories replaced, she's realizing that she's not remembering every single thing about her life. So in the program, she's got to figure out what the deal is, right? Yeah, like what's happening. That was a really fun one too. I like the sci-fi element. It was definitely more like futuristic sci-fi. So if you're interested,
that sounds fun.
Yeah, that one was a lot of fun. And then the last one that I read for that vlog was Bad Witch Burning, which reminded me a lot of The Taking of Jake Livingston. I think I ended up rating this one a little bit lower than that one just because of like a few things, but I talk about that in the vlog. That one basically follows a young woman who can talk to ghosts like Jake Livingston. Kind of gets in a little bit of trouble when she realizes instead of just talking to ghosts, she can actually raise people from the dead. And she's like in high school, so obviously she's going through some stuff. But yeah, that one touches on a lot of kind of like social issues as well, which is also what reminded me of kind of like The Taking of Jake Livingston, because it mixes in that medium aspect with also like the medium being in high school and having to deal with not just ghosts but also life. So that was a lot of fun as well. And like I said, if you guys are interested, that link is going to be up above. Check out that NetGalley
vlog.
Yeah, check out that NetGalley vlog. The last vlog that I did last month, because I went on vacation, which is also why I didn't read as many books. I ended up doing like a vacation reading vlog where I ended up reading 3 books that I took to the beach with me. The first one was The Bridge Kingdom, which I had such a fun time with, and I can understand why y'all have been obsessed with this fantasy book. It basically follows our main character who is going to another kingdom to marry the king, and her whole like psyche is, I'm gonna kill him because he's my arch nemesis. So lots of good fun tropes in this book. I particularly liked this one because it gave me a little bit of pirate vibes without it actually being a pirate setting, because the kingdom is set on a bunch of bridges that kind of span through these islands, like this set of islands. So there's like a lot of water and like a lot of like island kind of stuff, and it's a lot of fun. So again, for thoughts and ratings, I will give you guys the link to this one. The next book that I ended up reading for that vlog was Wild at Heart, the sequel to The Simple Wild. And this one I also ended up liking. I can see what people mean when they say it's not as good, obviously, as The Simple Wild. No? Did you like this one better?
Yeah.
So this one basically just follows Calla and her perspective. It's really centered around her and not the romantic interest. So I can see why people like wouldn't like this one as much as the first one, because it really is just about Calla with like these little sprinkles of the romance. But even the romance that we saw, you know, it wasn't as big as we wanted to be, but it was still spicy. So spicy. So I'm going to continue with this series as well with a third book, which is Forever Wild. Yeah. I am hoping that that really wraps it up for me, because I'm like, I need more of the romance.
Same.
Miss K.A. Tucker.
Same.
Anyway, so that was the second one. And then the third one was Spin the Dawn, which I'm not even sure if a lot of people have read this book. This was a buddy read with me and Nicole Lee from Bombay Reads. She also got me this for my birthday, and what a good choice, because this was such a fun book. I kind of talk about this a little bit in the vlog, but basically this is it's sold as a Mulan retelling. I don't really think it is a Mulan retelling, other than the fact that the main character dresses like a man, like instead of being her daughter, she's her father's son, because she's trying to be like the royal seamstress. So I go into this in the vlog, but I think that this is one of the best YA fantasies I've ever read. I feel like other people have read it and not liked it. And so I'm like, maybe this is like a Cruel Prince situation where I'm just seeing things that other people aren't seeing. I'm not really sure, but I had a good time. So I'm going to continue on with the next book in this duology, which is Unravel the Dusk, and see if it's just as good. I'm a little worried because like this one was so good to me, and then the very, very end, something happened and I was like, oh. So that's like my only gripe about it. But full in-depth thoughts are on the vlog, which is going to be linked up in the cards. So if you guys are interested, please click that vlog and yeah, experience it with me.
And then the last 7 things that I read were...
Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay.
Were the manga Sweat and Soap that Rachel and Nitty told me to try out. They say it's one of their favorite ones ever. And I just can't believe that a story about a sniffing fetish is so wholesome. The communication is healthy, and I truly have binged pretty much the whole translated series at this point. Like, I just need to get my hands on the last 3 copies. It's like an office romance where what's the main character's name? Notori.
Yeah.
He catches the eye of one of the accountants and is just kind of just so enamored by her smell.
Right, because they work at basically a company that makes soap.
Yeah.
So it's Sweat and Soap. And this one girl, an accountant, she sweats a lot.
And he was inspired by that smell.
Right, because he creates the scents for the smells. He creates the scents for the soaps. So he gets a whiff of her one day.
And
she's like, oh God, can you smell me? And he's like, yes! And yeah,
and a wholesome romance builds from there. Anyway, like I said, when you hear that, you're like, okay, but I'm telling you.
Yeah, it sounds weird, but it's really cute.
Once, like, the first one will go at breakneck speed, but once you keep going, you're just like, wow, they really are like
so cute.
So cute together.
I think I also read like 4 volumes of it, so I'm not quite as far as you, but
yeah.
It's pretty cute, guys. It's pretty cute.
Yeah. So that I gave, most of them range between 4 to 5 stars, so you can check out my rating. Not everyone's rated like
Mango.
Yeah, but most of them are on Goodreads. My thoughts.
Yeah.
If they even made sense. I was incoherent in most of them.
Good and wholesome. We like a cute, wholesome manga.
Yes. That Fruits Basket. Sorry. Fruits Basket. Okay. That's pretty much it for my reading. Do you have any others?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
It was a pretty lax month.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I had a nice break as well. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. We didn't have any jokes, dude.
Well, who are we?
We're like done. What's up with us? So anyway, yeah. All right, that was last month, guys.
Yeah, quick, easy.
Like, what else do we have to say? We failed at our readathon, and what's new?
Yeah, really, it's nothing new for me. I'm shocked that you didn't hit your goals.
Yeah.
Just kidding. You were enjoying your vacation, though, and I'm happy to see it, truly.
Yeah, and, like, truly, like, when I talk about these books next month, the thickies, like, Ace, me opening Ace, I was like, oh, never mind. Because everything I'm reading in Ace, it's like I'm highlighting, taking notes, tabbing. Yeah, it's like basically learning
a whole new side of sexuality.
Right. And I don't want to rush it. Like, I didn't want to rush it at all. So whenever I read it, I have to sit and like have the stuff, like the highlighters, the pins, the annotation, tabs. So I can't just like bring it on set, because then I'd be having like a whole station while I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, that would not make sense. And the same goes for Iron Gold and Foundry Side. I'm doing the same thing in both of those books. So it's kind of like, well, I can only sit and read them for so long. Like, I can't do audio or anything. So they're just hard to get through.
But you'll get through them.
Yeah, I'm almost done with Iron Gold right now, and I'm about halfway through.
Iron Gold is the one I told you to read, right?
Right.
By who?
Mr. Pierce Brown.
Oh, interesting. Did you say anything recently?
To me?
Family reunion?
Just
kidding.
You know.
I had to do it. All right, y'all.
Still begging him to get coffee with me.
Enough. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Let us know if there's any good books that you read last month. Hit the subscribe button, because you know that will really support us, and the notification bell if you want to know when things are coming out. And until next time,
see you guys later.
bye.
Bye.